What is up, down, and sideways, you beautiful individuals? It is another episode of League Unlocked here. Mark here with you fine feathered individuals for alert warning. There was a crash on the Rift today. The roller coaster fell off the track entirely, plummeted into the ocean, and proceeded to sink a couple kilometers deep. It's one thing, Mark, to blow a 14,000 gold lead against T1 when their plot armor is fully activated. Okay, not great. A 10k gold lead being thrown away against the DN Supers in an elimination match is a different beast entirely.
It's much, much worse for the KT Rollster fandom. Yes, the disappointment comes through on a Friday right here for the KT Rollster fans. I think you can look in many aspects of this series and be left frustrated, upset, all these disappointed. But I don't think any of them are going to be looking at, yes, this is what I want to see in Split 2. Because no way! You got to see more of this. You laid it out. The big lead that they lost to T1, that's one thing. To lose this series in the fashion that they do and to lose the lead that they did have in one of the games in the series, that is a much bigger problem.
And you saw, they're up 10k, they lose the one fight in the base, and the game is not over then, right? It's still late, they still get a Baron, they still get other objectives. KT's still in control, because when you're up 10k, it needs to be multiple team fights to get the other squad back in the game. But after that, you just see the desperation out of KT, the team that was leading BD, all they're looking for. You see the tunnel vision of them just going, all right, Nexus is exposed. How do we get in there, boys? And they just completely kind of flub a team fight and never really actually get close to killing this Nexus. BDD doesn't even kill both the turrets once, and then the second time they bum rush it and barely get the Nexus to half. Like, they were never going to end the game there.
No, and it's one of those ones where you question who is making those choices, who is making that shot call in those moments, because it's one of those ones where you imagine the equation doesn't ever really work out. It doesn't really ever feel all that appetizing, even if you dangle the carrot in front that says, this is your only opportunity, right? Ticking time bomb, something, whatever. It didn't add up for KT to be playing and pushing in those type of regards, where then that leads me to believe more so again, it's confusion, it's panic in that comms, in the behind the scenes, that is where that type of struggle in decision making in these type of crucial moments can come through. I think the other aspect as well is you're looking at this one and you're going, hello, aiming? Hello, aiming? How are we losing this one when it's Dom and Peter on the other side, your former bot lane?
Yeah, and aiming is so fed on the Corki in game one. He had like a 3.5k gold lead individually, but just could never really do anything with it. And yes, the writing was on the wall after this 49-minute heartbreaking loss as DNS kind of stomps game two, and it is very much so through that bottom lane against a Caitlyn for aiming, by the way. Dom and Peter. I mean, Dom ends up picking up Series MVP, which is like an extra stab to the heart for KT to see their former bot lane styling on their current one.
And a bot lane that, again, had issues during their time with KT, but appeared to be on the up, on a more positive note towards the end of the year, and you pivoted away from it, and not to pivot away for what has been proven or what would have been viewed as an upgrade in the community to what was seen as, at best, a side grade, and now has seemingly become, at worst, a downgrade in this situation, and you've given up that power that you could have had. This one is all sorts of disappointing for the KT Rollster fans.
And now they join Hanwha Life on the sidelines for the remainder of the LC Cup, and this combined with the Bro DRX match, I truly hope Hanwha Life, the coaching staff and the players aren't watching these games, because if they're sitting at home watching this and going, these teams made it further than we did? Huh?
They have to be going, what Black Mirror episode are we stuck in for this absolute nightmare? Because yes, there's no way a team that is built up of the parts and the quality that is Hanwha Life could watch these matches, watch the struggles, watch the failures of KT Rolster and a winless Freddie Brown coming on in. Wild that is what they've had to go through. Yes, there is absolutely room to be critical, to be disappointed, to be upset with their own individual performance and where they got to. But to imagine that they are on the sidelines while you're watching this in these games for the knockouts in the LCK Cup is absolutely a disappointment.
And, historically, we'll look back at the standings here and be scratching our heads going, the 0-6 Bros made it? I mean, they had a Teddy Ezreal good highlight. He had a good team fight. That's the main thing I'm taking for the Bros from this series, unfortunately.
I think even if you're the Bros, that ain't enough for you to be stepping away from him, being happy about it. So certainly a disappointing day all around, I think, in the LCK. Even, again, if you're a fan of DN Supers, or, and trying to find angles to be excited, DRX, whatever, it's not really what you saw on the day that's going to be like that. And then you combine in the fact that, well, guess who's on the sidelines during out all of this? Well, it's Zeus, it's Gumayushi, it's Kanavi, it's Zeka. Like, you're missing out on big star players, and this is what you got instead. So very much so, the disappointment in the LCK is real.
The credit is obviously given to the DN Supers, a lot more than DRX after this. Case in point, DK in the next round, picking DRX to be their opponent over DNS, which already seems like we've come a long way from what people were expecting coming into this year.
Very much so. And again, one of those ones where you'll be waiting to see whether that is simply just a knee-jerk reaction to what you saw within these series today, or if it is going to be proven as that's that extension of how you view you're going to match up and strategize against this certain team.
And let's be honest, doesn't matter of these teams who DK is picking. This is like the tutorial starter zone for a game still for DK before the real one actually kicks off in the main playoffs.
Yes, this is still the play-in stage part of the LCK Cup, right? So absolutely, it is going to kick up and take up another notch as we keep moving on. Can't wait for it.
It was an elimination, but we did have the marquee first place on the line LPL Showdown, ALBLG for the first time or the last time in the regular season before playoffs roll around. And this was a very back and forth series, all the drama behind BLG. And it kicked off with Bin being an absolute menace on the Ambessa. And truthfully, he was a problem the entire series for AL.
But I'm going to list out some problems for BLG, and those problems is, well, yes, you are solving the bin equation in the top side. Don't be getting out your ink pens. This is a pencil exam here. We're very cautious about that one with BLG at this point. But bin is getting that check mark. What's up next? Knight in the mid lane. Let's check in. Game 2. What do we have? Azir.
Meta pick, surely one of the best mid laners in the world. Very comfortable on the most popular champion, right?
No. Oh, this is absolute disaster class for BLG in this game too, and specifically for Knight in the mid lane. It just looks all sorts of messy, all sorts of lost and confused, which is something we almost never, ever see from someone like Knight, and how dominant he can play. It is becoming an increasingly common narrative thread to pull on or to highlight and mention that this champion in particular, this crucial pick for mid laners to be comfortable on, to be able to utilize, to facilitate their team at this professional level, Knight is not able to do so. It is for whatever reason, and I'm not buying that it's just raw hand skill, because we know he plays champions that are even more complex than what Azir can offer onto Summoner's Rift. He offers more mechanically intensive champions all the way through. So where is this answer on why the Azir performances are always, and I mean always, stinkers from Knight in this regard? And it is a crucial one because, again, this game could have been the one where you knock it out of the park, slam, shut down AL, but instead we're heading to game 3.
Yeah, and like you said, this isn't a new thing, the Azir pick, right? Knight, a guy with a career win percentage of 66%. An amazing win record to have as a professional player, right? Azir, he's 16 and 20. That's a 44% win rate, which is his lowest win rate for any champion that he's played more than once. That's crazy.
And there's something to be said about, some of the new champions that have come through. We can even look at the GOAT, right? The unkillable Demon King in Faker, and he's got gaps, small little spots within his champion pool.
Yone and Azir, different stratospheres, right?
You can throw Yone into that exact conversation, but when you're talking about being a mid laner and being proficient and what you can offer for your team, not having Yone, that's not great, but you can work around it, find other things. Not having Azir be one of your top options, being something you are familiar and comfortable with, is a crucial mistake and a crucial pain point, and that's the one that comes through in this series, because you get to game 3, and you know what? It's not about Knight. It's about Viper not delivering in this crucial game, in this head-to-head against Hope. It's Hope and anyone's legend stepping away with the win on the day.
And I'm worried for Viper bouncing back. Individually, sure, he cannot be at the same level, but he's also watching his support flash in on Bard into 4 people, not hit his combo, die, and lose the team the game.
That's not helping. That is not helping in one little bit. I'm still putting this mostly on Viper not having it in that final game 3, and then we can extend to game 2 with Knight on Azir, as we've talked about. That's also a problem. You got that going on in your games as well. So there's problems for BLG, because yes, even if it seems like the problem on the day was certainly not Bin and his performances and what was going on, there are other problems on this roster and where that performance, where that focus, where that effort was on the day. And that is where, again, this up and down fluctuation for BLG, yes, there is still going to be a little bit of room to find that perfect, next level of form. But do you really believe that that's what this squad has capable in them so far this split around? I don't think so.
And listen, we always talk about AL as greater than the sum of its parts, right? All 5 of them together. Individually, you might not say, apart from Tarzan, top 3 in their role, although this year in the LPL they most definitely are. But this BLG super team, never did you think you'd be saying Knight and Viper were some of the main issues going up against Shanks and Hope in a pivotal, first seed deciding series?
Yeah, and so I think that's where what the bounce back, what the next week and a half really is going to look like for BLG, and whether that's going to be enough games or enough time before the playoffs really kick off here in the LPL, which, by the way, better be getting going pretty soon, because if we're already starting things up in the LCK, I know, play in, whatever, it still is one of these ones where first stand will be here sooner than you think on a lot of aspects. So we better be getting this schedule underway in the LPL. Otherwise, we're going to be running rapid fire all the way through.
Yeah, I think it's Monday, the 9th, that things kick off for the playoffs. And we still have, I think it's NIP and WE have like a tiebreaker scenario for seeding. They're both going to get through, but it's just whether they're first or second seed matching up. So we have the whole play-in thing. It's, I don't know the exact date, but going to be a while before we see BLG and AL on the Rift again. As much like the LCK Cup, we have kind of this whole play-in stage to get to the main playoffs.
And I don't think it's going to be simply, okay, well, Knight, play Azir until the next time we see you and whatever type of thing to instantly fix this one for BLG. These are, kind of deeper cracks within the pottery that is BLG at this point, and whether you can fix it to keep its structural integrity against what will be the pressure cooker, the pressure test in not just T1 and Gen G on international stage. Already, anyone's legend on your domestic stage is there if you are a BLG. So it's going to be very much so one of these ones on the Rift and off the Rift need to see some repair jobs happening.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if there's being Band-Aid solutions sticked on a lot of things this early in BLG, how many can you fit? It's February. We got a long time till Worlds.
It can't be Band-Aid fixes if you are BLG. I'm talking about full on get out the anesthesia, get out the stitches, and make it a full fix. It has to be that. It cannot be just, well, let's put 3 Band-Aids on top of each other. And
ban his ear every game. Sure. Yeah, no problem.
No. I ain't falling for that one this time around, BLG. Let's make sure that it's the proper job.
And listen, Billy still, they kind of have redemption against the West. Before we even get to LPL and LCK teams, after what happened at Worlds, if they get to first stand, they got to beat up on some Western teams to give back the confidence.
That sounds so unfair, but I think you're right because look at the failures, look at the faults, and that's where they all really begin and start in some of those type of upset moments and matches where BLG failed. So yeah, I think that is kind of the readjustment that not only is it now, obviously, your Gen Gs, your T1s, anyone legend, the LPL, Movistar Koi, the LCS. What's going on here, BLG?
We're serving you up some T-balls to kick things off if you do, again, make it to first stand. But they have to go through this playoff bracket to even be getting to that point, and we'll see how things play out in the next couple of weeks. But that is it today for League Unlock. Eric and Mark here with you. Absolute stunners. Thanks for hanging out. We will catch you on that flippity flip.